Well, I'm back with 01 Episode 3, and a bit of a simple episode this one, so hopefully I'll try to keep this one shorter than, I don't know, 15 minutes. We'll see. But yeah, this episode, a couple things to go over. Last episode, I've been calling the Humor Gears who were connected to MetabolGymRide.net, I've been calling them Rampant Humor Gears. Apparently they're called Mag-Gears. I figured that was just, first of all, that was a silly thing to call them because, yeah, you're just taking the hue out of it and suddenly it makes them evil. But apparently, Ma-Gears is a portmanteau of Ma, the Japanese word for demon, and of course, Gears. Not sure if that's the best name to call them, but, they're called Mag-Gears, so, that's what we'll go with. Anyways, the focus is, Naruto is trying to secure a contract with, a sushi restaurant owner, I think the restaurant is called Setsura Sushi. I think that's how it's pronounced. And the owner, it does not really tolerate his Humor Gear chef, because just because he's proficient at cooking doesn't mean he's cooking it with soul, which is a bit more understandable. He's not against it purely on the basis that it's a robot, but purely because the stuff that he makes, while having a lot of flavor, doesn't seem to have any passion put into it. So it's not a case where he's old and he's bigoted, because he is trying to find someone to inherit his restaurant, when he eventually passes, as apparently he suffers from a major backache, or a major back injury, or something like that. And if the contract is cut off, that basically gives the vice president, whose name still hasn't been brought up, by the way, basically gives the vice president ample opportunity to kick Naruto out and become the president of the company himself. I feel this is going to be the sole running gag with this guy. He just wants to try to become the president of Hiden Intelligence. Anyways, naturally, MetabolGymRide.net comes in to cause more trouble, where we get the, I think it's supposed to be either the squid Mag-Gear or Ika Mag-Gear, because Ika is another word in Japan for squid. Either way, but weirdly enough, he doesn't do it to the chef. He does it to a hairdresser Mag-Gear, or Humor Gear. Whatever, gets the job done for him, doesn't it? And because of the amount of tentacles it has, it also means it can create more trilobite Mag-Gears. The generic ones with the multi-layered faceplate over their faces. One interesting thing that happens in this episode that exists as kind of the excuse for the power-ups is that Izu is more or less standing off to the side watching 01 and later on in the scene Vulcan come in to deal with basically watching them deal with the Mag-Gear, and it's actually analyzing the battle data and figuring out the best way to handle it, and then connecting to the Humor Gear satellite Zia to create a new progress key, which I think is actually a really clever way to actually write into the show how these progress keys come about, instead of just being the collectible gimmick to sell toys. I mean, it is obvious that the progress keys and the Zetsubu Rise keys only exist to, obviously to sell toys, but the way they're going about it is actually really clever. So I'm glad they do that. Though they still don't explain where exactly Yua gets another shot rise. Oh, hang on a second. I'm sorry. This camera angle is kind of bothering me. There we go. That's better. Anyways, they don't explain where Yua gets another shot riser, because this is the episode where she debuts as Kamen Rider Valkyrie using the Rushing Cheetah progress key. I'll say this: I really like Valkyrie's. Just like Vulcan, I really like Valkyrie's design. It has like that split color thing going on with the more dominant side being orange and the lesser dominant side being white. I like that. It does look more like an animal motif on top of an armored suit. I think that's cool. And one thing I noticed with these suits is that 01 is like a decent balance between speed and strength and skill. Vulcan is more brute strength, whereas Valkyrie is predominantly speed based, which I think is a good way to set them all apart from each other. So yeah, I really do like Valkyrie's suit. Though again, I would love to know where she got that other shot riser. Was it something like in a hidden compartment in the Ames van? There's not really explained. But as for Aruto using the biting shark progress key, again, does something really that's aesthetically cool and actually really clever on the writing part, where basically when Aruto scans in another progress key, basically the armor he already has on basically reorientates itself to accommodate for the armor coming in from the next progress key. I mean, obviously his base suit is still the Rising Hopper progress key, but when using the Biting Shark, he still has bits of the armor, still bits of the Rising Hopper armor, to just reorient it a bit to make room for the Biting Shark armor. And again, I think that's cool. The Biting Shark armor itself, is okay. I think, I mean, you do never get that whole shark. I mean, he literally just has like a giant shark, in his chest. Kind of reminds me of Robots in the Sky Skyway a little bit. And he's got a different helmet. We kind of looks like he has jagged teeth. So I do really like how they go about with the armor. That's actually really cool. Stuff on Yua. Yua is kind of giving mixed signals right now. I don't know if that was the intention, because that's okay. And suddenly the lighting has got a bit off. I'm really sorry about that. Lighting down here is a hassle. Anyways, I'm getting mixed signals with Yua, and again, I don't know if that's the intention, because when she meets up with Aruto in the sushi place, basically she approaches him with the idea that she doesn't actually hate the human gears. And she has no prejudice against the human gears whatsoever. It's Fuwa who has the prejudice against the human gears, whereas she is just simply looking for a good way for human gears and humans to kind of coexist. But during the episode, when she's not interacting with Aruto, she apparently kind of sees the human gears as tools. Basically sees them as less than human. And basically just tools to be used in this idea, it was essentially a war against Metsubo Jinrai. Which, she kind of shows her it's a bit callous. It's not showing her as being an asshole just for the sake of it. I mean, Fuwa I could call an asshole, but you are. I'm not getting the proper firm grasp of the character, and I don't know if that was really the intention. Because this kind of characterization seems a wee bit similar to what happened with I forgot his name, Kamen Laser from X8. A lot of carried over elements from X8 to this, isn't it? Again, I know it's the same writer, but I'm noticing a lot of similarities. But it's kind of like what happened with Kiria, that's his name. Kamen Laser, his real name is Kiria. Kiria is a compulsive liar. He basically, and he first tells lies to try and get what he wants, because he was a corridor. He's a corridor. He mainly studies the remains, whatever the remains are of bugsters, to try and create new means of fighting them off. But as well, they did kind of paint him as a selfish asshole at first. I mean, he did receive himself later on, but it's he did seem a bit dickish, at first, and that's kind of the same thing I'm getting with Yua here, where clearly she has the right intentions, but she's showing a bit of a deceitful manner. Okay, probably intentional, probably not, who knows. But there is an interesting thing that happens at the end of the episode with Yua. You know, once they take care of the Magir, and the chef Magir did get infected, turned into a Trilobite Magir. You know, they had to, it had to be destroyed along with all the other Trilobite Magirs by Valkyrie, while 01 takes care of the squid Magir. After they go in the replacement one, like, at the end of the episode, we see Yua talking to a man sitting in the desk playing chess by himself in the shadows, and he apparently knows about 01. Like not just like the existence of 01, but kind of like this whole idea of like what 01 actually is, what is the meaning behind it. I can't tell if this guy is supposed to be a future villain or if he's supposed to be the leader of AIMS. Again, this is all because that's the thing I've noticed with this guy's writing style, because he's written all of the episodes thus far, and looks like he's writing the next one, which is kind of focused on a bus tour guide, where he has this mysterious character, in the shadows, who has a bit more of an important connection to the main character and the journey of the main character than they let on. I mean, excuse me. We had that with Kyotaro. I think it's Kyotaro, the doctor who healed Emu in. Oh, for God's sake, it's lining again. I'm really sorry about that. We got that with the doctor who healed X8 of his initially of his Bugster infection. And we also kind of got that with Dan Masamune, Camarada Kronos, when he eventually, well, he started off as a prisoner before coming back to take over as Gundam CEO, only for him to be revealed to be just as as much as a megalomaniac as his son, but just in a different way. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this guy in the shadows is supposed to be the AIMS leader or if he's a future villain. But again, that's the thing about this writing style. We don't know what's going on, but we're interested to see what will happen. Which, I am really interested to see how this goes about. So, yeah, it looks like 01 does officially have me properly hooked now. I'm not going to drop it after the 5th episode because there's more stuff going on. There's more stuff going on that's actually really damn interesting. And you do pose the questions of like can the human gear have a soul? Because again, the chef in this episode, because he's been told that he does not cook with soul, he will want to see if he can actually learn about the data for a soul. But of course, there's no real data for a soul. No one really has a firm idea of what a soul really is. So it's nice that they actually address that in this episode, and might be foreshadowing for what might happen with Izu. Not saying anything right now, but according to it that Izu will probably either die, join the villains, or become a Kamen Rider. Because we already know that Hirobi and Jin are going to become Kamen Riders. We already know the characters of Kamen Rider Hirobi and Kamen Rider Jin, but I don't know if Izu will be a Kamen Rider. It'd be interesting to see, because we already have Valkyrie as a female Kamen Rider from the start this time, not just halfway through the series, or in the case of Zio at the very end, even though they do nothing with it. Sorry, hatred of Zio is still overpowering, but there's still a lot of stuff that might happen in this show, and I'm interested to see what will happen. But yeah, that's basically all the thoughts I got for today, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and share on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, even Instagram. Who knows? And of course, and if you want to know more about if you just, I don't know, seem interested in a random guy on YouTube, I do have a Twitter account. It will be in the link in the description below, as will my blogspot. So, and of course, if you're leaving a comment, please let me know what you think of the episode. I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I have to say. I'm Callum Lewis, the Media Hood, signing off.